Okay, everybody, let's do the closeout for lesson 2 of meetings. So, in this lesson, we covered the following subjects: uncertainty of agreements in meetings, making deals in meetings, and wrapping up meetings. I hope you found lesson 2 interesting because in this closeout video, we'll be talking about some of the tips related to the lesson. Feedback. Now, be sure to show that you appreciate everybody's feedback and advice. Showing your appreciation will encourage feedback from others when you ask the first question about an item. When you want feedback on a certain product, like a manufactured item, be as specific as possible. It's definitely a good idea to keep notes of the feedback you've received, so you can refer back to them in the future. Treat the notes as ideas for change and improvement to the discussion or meeting objective. Consider now how we might disagree in meetings, but in a positive way. The lesson showed us how we can disagree with someone while still being positive and not alienating someone we might disagree with. This may even help you in other situations beside meetings. Giving thanks for opinions. Whether you agree with the feedback given by any of the participants, thank them for sharing their insight and views with everyone. As you respond to a negative opinion, first explain to the person that you understand what he or she is saying. It's important that you understand fully any differing point of view, and so one can discuss each side of the argument in a balanced way. It's important that meeting participants see an unbiased approach to the discussion of each of the opinions. When attending a meeting, one might also imagine some potential reasons why other people in that meeting may disagree with you. It's often a good idea to form counter agreements ahead of time, but remember to keep an open mind. The other person might just be right. Be prepared to be convinced, not just set in your mind that you're absolutely correct. Let's look now at decision making that happens within meetings and the things that we learned in the lesson to make this happen. Negotiations. Negotiations are a crucial element in meetings. They're necessary to ensure decisions are based on consensus and not dictatorship. These lessons are useful throughout everybody's lives. Maybe you want a pay rise, access to better computer equipment, or even a prime parking spot in the company lot. All this requires people skills and negotiation skills. We never get everything that we want, and so we have to compromise. The purpose of negotiation is to reach an agreement, a compromise, to participate in an activity which results in an optimum decision. Each side tries to come to an agreement that serves its own interests. In some ways, negotiation resembles a game of chess, in that the more skillful party will usually win. The objective of negotiations is to show the other party an alternative way, preferably your way, to solve a problem. Always keep negotiations polite, even if you don't like the other party. Victory doesn't necessarily mean you have to take everything. That is not the purpose of negotiation. It's about forming agreement between two sides of a discussion. Important points and decisions. From time to time, major decisions will need to be discussed in a meeting. At least one hopes that important decisions are discussed before being made. One might have to decide which projects to fund and which projects to cancel, which products to back and which to remove from the market. Many decisions are made in meetings that have actually been discussed with people one-on-one before the meeting happens, and the meeting is just a formal rubber stamp of several meetings that have already occurred. While this often takes a lot of time, this approach ensures the motion has a reasonable chance of success. Wrapping up a meeting. Ending a meeting is not difficult, but there is usually a pattern. It's about what happens as the meeting is ending. the handshaking, the small talk, the walking to the door, all fairly normal. Or is it? Obviously, you shake hands with everyone. Obviously, you smile. The key is to shake hands and smile in a way that suggests you are, say, more pleased with how things were or went than you actually are. Maybe you didn't get everything you wanted, but the group formed a consensus. In meetings, you win some, you lose some. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill, 1944. The main impression you want to leave with everyone is gratitude. Achieve this, and it leaves people feeling better about the meeting. That's why thanking people who attended the meeting is very important. Maybe it doesn't seem that important, but this is an integral part of business life with meetings. After the meeting, we have to follow up on the meeting. The art and science of following up on a meeting is a vital professional habit. One of the major tips for meetings is following up on a timely basis. It's a great way to manage any stress if you have any unanswered questions, and it makes a great impression on others. For best results, I recommend following up on the same day as the meeting, while the people who attended still have it on their minds, while it's on your mind for that matter. For very important items, make a note on your calendar or your latest computer-based task management tool. Getting minutes or notes from people is an important part of the follow-up. Otherwise, they may be missing crucial points of the meeting. Okay, that concludes the closeout video. Hopefully you've learned some useful things, but should you have any questions, please bring them up in the forum and raise your question there. Your question is probably being thought about by more than just yourself. We'll see you all next week for lesson 9 on presentations. Bye for now.